Hello everyone, it's Lucy and me, Beau. Today we are going to be going through the GVM Great Video Maker, this auto sliding rail system. Basically I have my GH5 camera set up at one point and I'm gonna hit a button and it will automatically go along, not just sliding beautifully smoothly, but it will also rotate the camera from left to right. There's another version that actually has a Z-axis that goes up and down. This is not that version. However, it is the exact same setup. So hopefully these instructions help in pointing you in the right direction if you are having some difficulty with the instructions. Now the initial setup is relatively easy. Charge the batteries, pop those in. I have the cable, I have one cable plugged in and to the back right yonder, and make sure that the antennas are nice and snug down. And then also over here, I have this cable, which is plugged from my GH5 camera into here. They have a whole bunch of cables that come with it. So if you have a Sony, a Nikon, Canon, etc., then I'm sure they will fit just fine. And then a charger as well. But everything is in fact charged up. Let's go ahead and boot this up, which first of all, you go over here, a little rocker switch, and then a rocker switch there. This is Bluetooth connectivity, so initially when you first turn it on, you will have to go down to setting at the very bottom and actually find the Bluetooth device, and you can see it's pairing right there, and it should be good to go. Battery life is fairly good. I was pretty surprised. I've been playing with this for quite a while, but let's go ahead and jump right into this. Now, do keep in mind that there's quite a learning curve to this. Oh, and also do keep in mind, it does not save your points. So once you manually switch this off and this, if you leave this on, it'll save your points. But if you switch both of them off, it will reset everything. So it's kind of frustrating, but in that case, you're probably just gonna want to manually slide it along. As a matter of fact, let's just go right into the manual. So this is okay right here, and then this is escape or go back right over here. And then the rest of the navigation is all over the place. It's really not intuitive. So pardon me as I kind of stumble along. We're gonna push okay, manual mode, okay, right there. And now we're going to go ahead and try to rotate it. So you can see I'm holding this down and it is slowly rotating. That is as fast as it goes. And then release, click that one. So you kind of hear that high-pitched whine. So if you're getting audio, this is not the device for you because there's gonna be a high-pitched whine the whole time. But for me, in my particular uses, I only use this for scenery shots and I don't care if there's any kind of audio here. So we're actually gonna slide along. So we're gonna push the right one. Here we go. And it's going along. Now this is, again, is the manual mode. That means that I could effectively be switching on my camera and be getting a shot right here as it goes along. So it's very, very smooth. And that is the speed that it goes. And then lift up. That's it right there. Now, let's go ahead and, for giggles, try to set up an automatic waypoint. So we are going to set a point from here and just push a button and it's automatically going to go to the other side. Okay, let's see if we can do that. All right, let's set this up there. And now we're going to go back. So pushing escape to go back to the main menu, or actually just back one. And now we're going to go down to auto mode. So down, auto mode, push okay. Set key. Of course, we can't go down to auto loop right now because we have not set the actual point. So we need to set a key. So push okay. Append point. We're going to basically make the point. Push okay. Great. You know what? Just for fun, we're going to start at this point, okay? And so just go ahead, push okay, save yes, good. Now we are going to create another point. Push okay, and as you can see, that now says point B instead of point A because we've already set point A. At this point, you can go along and you can see it's changing the axis. And if we look up here, it is sliding along. So this is the end point that we are setting right now. And we're not gonna go all the way, we're just gonna stop maybe right there. And while we're at it, let's also turn the camera, rotating the Y-axis as it's turning gently to the left. Okay, excellent, that's great. And lift up on that. Now we are going to save this, by pushing OK right here. And save, yes indeed. And we are good to go. So let's go ahead and go back, and we can go down to auto loop. Push OK, and this should automatically start. Oh, you can also set the speed too. The speed is pretty slow right now. If you want to do a time lapse, if you set this to 50%, it'll take about 2 minutes to travel the entire length of the rail. So just keep that in mind. If you want to go super slow, like a time lapse of some kind, put that speed down to 10%, and that will be quite a bit of time to speed up, and it'll look really, really cool. But first of all, we have the start point set at A, and then we have the end point set at A. We don't want that. We want it set at A and B, right? So let's go down. Actually, you push this side to go down, beg your pardon. See, that's the non-intuitive thing about it. All of a sudden, you're using this over here to go down, when before, you're kind of doing, anyway, we're gonna go down, push A, that's it. And now we're going to select B. So I just push that one to go to B. Push OK. I'm sorry, you don't push OK to select that, you push escape, which is kind of weird. Loop count, this is rather interesting. So if you want to run the camera multiple times going from A to B, like it's just gonna do it one time because I have the loop count as 1. If you want to go each, so it's basically doing the entire cycle from A to B and then A to B. If you wanted to do it 2 times, of course, you would do the loop count twice. Does that make sense? Okay, now let's go ahead and run this, okay? So we're gonna go ahead down to execution, there, and push OK. Let's see what happens. And I'm not touching that, and it is automatically running it. You can see that it is rotating the Y and the X axis. How cool is that? Automatically stops, and now it is going back to its original spot, because of course I have it just looping 1 time. Again, if I had it looping twice, it would do this thing 2 times. And that is it. So it's running and we are finished. I'm not gonna go into the other details such as time lapse or panorama. That's a whole nother ball game, but just kind of giving you a high level view of this really is gonna point you in the right direction and get you going. So all the way out. By the way, you don't always have to do the auto mode as you saw at the very beginning of the video. If you are just out in the field and you just want to do this really fast, just do the manual mode. So go up to manual, push OK, and now you can control it and it will do whatever you'd like with it. And you don't have to set any of those waypoints, the Y or the A and the B, okay? All right, so that is a down and dirty overview of how this thing works. Overall, it's very robust. I would say the actual construction of the rail system is very good. My only gripe that I would have about this is the actual button quality. It's super, super cheap and kind of sticky on these buttons. And that's, I mean, it's not a make or break, but for over $500, you would think there would be some kind of construction quality in this thing. But just be careful not to drop this. And of course, it does come with a fairly robust pack like this. So once you repack it, it should be fairly safe. The batteries slip right in there nicely. And overall, 5 out of 5 stars. Got a little bubble right there, and you can also lock this down when you're traveling so that it's not sliding all over the place. Let's go ahead and shut this down, shut that down, and then you can unplug everything, wind it up, and put it away. That's it. Hope this helps, guys. My name is Beau Chevasu. I have, I'll put the link to this in the description, so if you want to explore this yourself, you certainly may. It's good for the kind of the prosumer type person who has maybe a good 45 minutes before the wedding to set up some beauty shots. Just walk around with this guy, get some beautifully cinematic, super, super smooth shots. For me, I do a lot of running and gunning, nonprofit film work all over the world where I use a glide cam or a steady cam, and I don't really have time to set up something like this. But if you're doing cinematic stuff and you have that luxury of setting something up, taking a lot of time, this is good for you. That's it. My name is Beau Chevasu. Catch you later.